Jai Shri Gurudev. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Ravian, Assistant Professor, Department of MCom, BGS Institute of Management Studies. Dear students, in this video I am going to explain the concept developing information system. See, first, before going to the steps included in developing of information system, let me give you some introduction to developing of information systems. See here, in the field of information system, where a system specialist develop an information system to improve an existing system or develop a new system based on user requirements, that is called information system development. In the sense, see, whatever, either it may be an existing system or the specialist is going to develop a new one, but he need some steps, or he required to fulfill some steps in order to develop a information system, whatever the information system it is, whether it may be management information system or executive information system, transaction processing system, whatever the information system it is. But before using that information system, that is to be programmed by a specialist. Okay, so that they has to follow, or that specialist has to follow certain steps to develop that information system. I am going to explain you the steps included in developing an information system. Here are some steps. The step number 1 is system identification, selection and planning, and which is also known as feasibility study. And second step is system analysis, and third step system design, nextly system implementation, and lastly system maintenance. So we have 5 different steps to develop an information system. Whoever it is, the specialist has to follow at least these 5 steps to follow or to develop a existing or new information system. Even for the improvement of existing information system also, specialist has to follow these 5 steps. Or in order to develop a new system or new information system, he has to follow these 5 steps. Let me explain one by one. The first and foremost step is feasibility study, which is also known as planning step, or identification or selection of a problem or a issue. Okay, see, in this step or this stage, where the information analyst makes a study of whether the management's concept of having a desired new system is achievable, or it may be that development of a new system is not needed, instead an update of the existing is enough. He has to think whether to develop a new project or a new system, new information system, or to update an existing one. So he has to make sure that, okay, so that's what feasibility study or feasibility step we can, and this step includes determination of a new system, what system is required. Okay, if a system or if a new system is needed or not, whether will we go for a existing system or development of an existing system, or updating of a existing system, or developing a new information system. Okay, so that step undertake only those projects critical to a mission, goal and objectives of the organization. That specialist has to think about whether, so that developing of a new information system is meets a mission of the organization or goal and objectives of the organization or not. So he has to think about organizational long-term and short-term goals. So then only he can choose, or he can go for a development of a new one or updating of a existing information system. Okay, and nextly, so he should select a development project from all possible projects that could be performed. Okay, he has to think about different alternatives. Okay, so by choosing a different alternatives, he may decide the, he has to undertake a new project. Okay, so by keeping in mind the mission, goals and objectives of the organization, so you may go for selecting a project or new developing of a new information system. See, in that, so that specialist has to go through with the 3 tasks. So like defining the problem by observation and interviews, by taking interviews and determining what information is needed by whom and when it is needed, where it is required and why it is required. So he has to think about all these things, and also so he can suggest the different alternative solutions, and finally he can go for preparation of a short report. So after preparing a short report, so he should go for undertaking only those projects which are critical to a mission, goals and objectives of the organization. And then if that project or if that information system is suitable to a company mission and goals and objectives of the organization, so then he may go for selecting a and development of a project from all possible projects that could be performed in the organization. And lastly, so you can go for a different evaluation criteria, so which are used to rank potential projects. So we have different evaluation criteria to select a particular project or particular information system, in which specialist can go for critical evaluation to update or developing a new information system. So we have some evaluation criteria. So in that first one is strategic alignment. See, this strategic alignment is one of the critical evaluation methodology, where the extent to which the project is viewed as helping the organization achieve its strategic objectives and long-term goals. So whether these developing of a new information system will meet strategic objectives of the organization, or whether it is suitable to achieving long-term goals of the organization or not. So he has to think in such a way that, okay. And second evaluation criteria is that potential benefits. So he has to think about potential benefits from the new project, okay. The extent to which the project is viewed as improving profits, customer service and the duration of the benefits. So he has to think everything. So whatever the benefits will be derived from those new project developing of an information system, so he has to think about those things, okay, potential benefits of that particular project. So he has to evaluate critically. And next thing is potential cost and resource availability. A number of in the sense, see, potential cost and resource availability, in the sense the number and types of resources the project requires and their availability in the market, okay. So what number of resources or what type of resources is required, and whether it is available in the market or not, or whether it is available in the company or not. So whether it is suitable to develop a new project, that is information system or not, he has to think about that. And nextly he has to critically evaluate about project size and duration, the number of individuals and the length of time needed to complete the project has to keep in mind. So by keeping in mind the time duration, what time is required to prepare this, and what number of individuals is required, okay. So each and everything he has to take into consideration while developing information system. And nextly, technical difficulty or risk involved in the developing of new information system. See, whenever a specialist is going to develop information system newly or updating existing information system, so he has to think about technical difficulties or risk involved in that. The level of technical difficulty involved to complete the project, that within a given time and within available resources, whether it is possible to complete the project by utilizing available resources or not, or within a time whether it can be done or not. So that has to be think before developing a information system, okay. So this is what the first step is. See, firstly system identification is required, and nextly has to select the best he has to select, and then you should plan for that, okay. It is what a feasibility study we can call. Okay, in this step, so we have to determine whether it is suitable to the business or not, and finally they can go for next step, okay. And the second step is system analysis. See, analysis is very essential, okay, essential step in developing of a information system. See, in the stage where users and information technology specialists work together to collect and comprehend and the business requirements of the organization. See, based on the requirements only they can go for developing a information system. Both will work on the design and discuss the task to be done, what task is to be done and what not to be done. So that's to think about that. And also the user and information technology specialist signs on the joint application designed to formalize the business requirements. See, then only they can go for analyzation of the information system which they are going to develop. Okay, so this step is also very essential in developing of information system, and this step includes collecting system requirements. Okay, see, collecting a system requirement in the sense, what are the requirements? Like requirement collection is like a process of gathering and organizing information from various users of information system and managers within the organization, business processes and documents to understand how a proposed system should work and how that should be prepared. See, each and everything is the system requirements. Okay, that has to be analyzed before. Okay, and nextly that system analyst use a variety of techniques to collect system requirements. See how that system specialist is going to collect requirements. See, firstly through interviews. Okay, firstly through interviews he can collect the different requirements which is required for developing information system. So interview in the sense, analyst is going to interview the people to collect the data. And nextly through questionnaires, next technique is questionnaire. By preparing a different questionnaire, analyst can make a survey. By that he can collect the data from different people or different users of information. And then through observations, also analyst can get the data from the workers. By observing the workers in the organization or work environment in the organization, he can collect the data from internal source only. Okay, or within the organization. Even he can collect the data from outsource of the organization or outside of the organization by observing the employees. Okay, or a similar nature of employees. Okay, and nextly through a document analysis. So even through document analysis also, analysts study the business documents. So the two in-depth study of the existing system to determine what the new system should do and how it works and how he can collect the data. So everything will be by using different techniques he can collect the system requirements. So this is what the second step is, that is what system analysis. So system analysis in the sense just collecting the system requirements, what are the requirements is needed to frame or to develop a information system. So that has to be collected. Okay, so before designing a system, so he has to collect each and every requirement which is needed to develop information system. And next let me go for third step, that is system design. See, system design, it is nothing but the stage where the system's blueprint is created. The technical architecture is designed, which includes telecommunications, hardware and software which is suited for the system. See, in this step, the specialist or information technology specialist is going to design an information system. Okay, which is nothing but a blueprint in which they are going to develop information system. And technically they are going to frame the different architecture design of the information system. So like telecommunications, or it may be in a hardware or software, so which is suited for that application or software or that information system. So in such a way he has to design. And these system design step includes, so it uses specifications from the system analysis to design alternative systems. Okay, see, he has to evaluate alternatives. So the two based on, see, he has to think about alternatives. So that based upon firstly economic feasibility. So he has to think about, do benefits justify a cost? See, whether cost which is incurred to develop that information system is good enough or not. He has to think about cost also. So that is what he has to take into consideration economic feasibility while developing an information system. And secondly, he has to consider technical feasibility. He has to go through with technical feasibility, which means is reliable technology and training is available in the organization, whether it is whether reliable technology is available or not, whether training is available or not. So that has to think, and that specialist must and should go through with this technical feasibility also while designing the information system. And nextly, he has to go with operational feasibility also. Operational feasibility in the sense whether the managers and users support to this information system. Will the managers and users support it or not? So that has to think. Okay, so not only these things, so even this step also includes designing forms and reports, and designing interfaces and dialogues, designing databases and files which is required for developing a information system, and also designing processing and logics or programs for the development of information system. Okay, so this is how the system will be designed. So this is what the third step, that is system designing of a system. See, very simple it is. System design in the sense, so using specifications, okay, how information should be, how information system should be, okay, in an infrastructure manner, so how it should be. Okay, that is what system design. And next step is system implementation. After designing an information system, so next step is to implement the designed system. See, the stage where the system is in place and is used by the actual workforce, and user guide manual and training are provided to the users. In these steps, the specialist is going to build the system to the design specifications. As per the specifications of the organization, he is going to design, and the same will be implemented in the organization. And he is going to develop the software which is required to that particular information system. It may be an application software or a system software, so he is going to design that. And nextly, he is going to acquire the hardware. See, hardware is required in order to install a software, right? See, say for example, in order to install MS Word, we need software, and we need a software first, the two MS Excel or MS Office software. And in order to install that, we require either laptop or a computer or any other tab, whatever it is. So the hardware is also required. Okay, so he has to acquire the hardware next. And nextly, test the new system, whether it works or not, whether it is able to do the functions in this hardware or not, whether that software is suited to this hardware or not. So that has to test it. Okay, and nextly, he has to create manuals for users and operators. See, it is very important. See, creating a manual, and so he has to the two which will be useful to the operators and users of that information system. See, designing not only important, even preparing manuals. So in manuals, they are going to record how to use that information systems, how to work with those information systems. So each and every stepwise detailed information will be provided in the manuals. As you know, so each and every information system or each and every electronic device comes with the manual, so in which we can find the information how to use that devices, is it or not? So that in this developing of an information system, a specialist has to create a manual, and that should be provided to the users and the operators of that information system. And next, he should train the users. See, by providing manuals, that users may fail to operate with the information system, so that it is better to give a training before using that information system, so that it is mandatory, or it is at least required, it is required to provide a training to the operators and users of that information system. And nextly, he has to evaluate the new system. After implementation, he has to evaluate that. So this is what step where the system will be implemented in the organization, that is information system, will be implemented. And next, if we go for a last step, that is system maintenance. Once we implement the information system which is designed by the specialist, so after implementation, the specialist or other company which provides that information system has to maintain that. Okay, so we should not leave by implementation, so we also has to give a maintenance services after sale service, or after providing that application or that information system. So we have to maintain that, and the stage where a system needs to be enhanced or strengthened in order to meet the goals of the organization. So whatever the changes is required, that should be done, or that will be done in this step. Okay, maintenance process steps, I have mentioned some steps how that information system will going to maintain that after implementation. See, firstly, obtain a maintenance request from the organization. Maintenance request is to be received from the organization where that information system is implemented. See, if not, so we can't go for maintenance, right? See, if we receive a request as a specialist, if you receive a request from the organization to maintain the particular information system which you have installed in that organization, definitely you can go for maintaining that one. So that you should obtain a maintenance request, and after obtaining a maintenance request, so transform that request into a changes. Okay, whatever the changes is required to made to the information system, you can go for transforming that request into a changes. And nextly, after making changes, design a changes. In the sense, in order to make changes, you have to design that, you have to design a programs. So by preparing a programs and by designing a programs, you can able to change the required things to the information system. And nextly, implement that changes. So after designing the changes required by the information system or the organization, so then you can go for implementing those changes what you have made. Okay, so and we have different types of changes what can be done, or what changes can be done to the information system. In the sense, see, firstly we can go for physical repair of the system. See, if physically that information system damaged, in the step maintenance of that information system, that specialist can go for physically repairing of that information system. Okay, and nextly, we can go for correcting of a new bugs. If any bugs is found, bugs in the sense some mistakes, okay, some wrong data, wrong information, if any bugs is found in that information system, so we can go for correct that bugs. Okay, so by some measures or some information technology techniques, by implementing some techniques, so we can go for correcting those bugs which are found in the information system. And nextly, we can go for system adjustments to environmental changes. See, specialist, so while changing the information system as per the requirements of the organization where that information system is implemented, so according to the environmental changes, that system is to be adjusted in such a way the specialist has to make a changes. Okay, in such a way that program is to be designed and that information system is to be implemented in that organization as per the environmental changes. Okay, and nextly, adjustments for users changing needs. See, the needs of the organization is keep on changing as like wants of the individuals, right? So as a human beings, our needs and desires will keep on changing, right? So as like that, company needs also keep on changing. So as of that needs, that information is to be changed. Okay, so we can't replace it because due to a cost, so we can't replace the information system time to time, right? So we can update it, right? So that, so adjustments should be made to the changing needs of the organization. So that adaptiveness is to be there. Okay, in the change in system maintenance step, that adaptiveness is to be there. Okay, in such a way a specialist has to make a changes to the information system. And nextly, changes to the user better techniques when they become available. If the users available to you are users available to the specialist, so they can teach the techniques how to use that information system. So what changes can be done by the user or the operator of that information system, that can be teach by the specialist who prepared and who designed that information system. So that can be gives a perfectness to the information system. See, if we teach or if we give a training to the operator or user of that information system, definitely they will learn and they will use that information system in a better way, right? So that it is responsible, it is a best responsibility of the specialist or a designer of the information system to give a training how to use that information system. Okay, so if not, so he has to visit the organization where that information system is installed, and he has to teach that users or operators of that information system how to use and when to use. So and the procedures is to be given to that operator and user of that information system. So these are the different steps included in developing of information system. See, totally we have 4 steps in developing of information system. So in the first step, the system identification, selection and planning. So this is the planning stage. And next we have after identifying the issue and after selecting the best project and after planning the project which is which is related to the information system, and next we'll go for system analysis. Okay, so we should analyze each and every alternative is to be analyzed, and we have to collect the required information from different sources. And nextly we'll go for designing of a system. After designing a system, so then that system will be implemented in the required place or required organization. So whoever that requires, so there we can implement that information system. And after implementation, so we can't stop, so we should go for maintaining that information system, so which is popularly known as after sale service. So it is not considered to be after sale service, but after implementation of information system, so one has to maintain that information system, then only they can get a good results from the organization. Okay, so this is what the different steps included in development of a information system. Hope you understood. Thank you all. Jai Shri Gurudev.